Today, I want to share something very special with you. A story that I have heard years and years ago, read years and years ago, I think, which came back to me today. I was asking Baba this morning that it is so difficult to get, to forego attachment. They say, become detached in life, and especially so because Baba has, taken me totally into his fold on the spiritual path. So for me, it becomes very, very important to be able to detach as much as from situations, people, um, everything that is material outside. And that was talking about me. But even when I talk about every other person who is not me, the Bhagavad Gita, everywhere in the scriptures, it says, detachment is so important for the soul's journey. You have to learn to detach. You have to learn to be able to detach from your emotions, from your relations, from the problems, from the situations. It goes on endlessly. So today I asked Baba, tell me, how does one do it? And then I remembered the story that I had, in fact, I had shared the story in one of the programs I had done for a leadership team many years ago, must be 20 years back, maybe more. And after I asked Baba, the story came back to me, and so did the lesson with it. So I'll share the story and then the lesson as usual. The quick story now. So this is a story from our Hindu mythology again. It is a story of King Amrish and Durvasa Rishi. You may have heard it. For those of you who haven't, let me share this with you. And it's a very long story, but I'll try to bring it into little words as I can. So King Amrish was very powerful and a very spiritual king. It is said he had conquered the world at one point in time, and his bhav towards Krishna was supposed to be so deep and so beautiful um, that he offered not only yagnas and did sacrifices and prayers. He also kept fasts, so much in love for his love for Krishna. And Vishnu was so happy because Krishna is Vishnu avatar, right? So Vishnu was so happy that he actually gifted his Sudarshan Chakra to King Amrish and said that this will always be around you for your protection and no harm can come to you. You will be protected by my own Sudarshan Chakra which will be with you, which is a very rare thing to happen. So all this was happening, and then King Amrish took up this fast that I was talking about. It was a 1 year fast. He had to fast once every month, and it had to continue for a year. And there was a very sacred day and an auspicious moment for its completion. And he was already very powerful. So it was said, it was believed that once he completes that fast, he will probably become one of the most powerful existing souls in the world. So at that point, Lord Indra became a little jittery. He got nervous that already King Amrish is so powerful, and if he completes this fast, everything will be out of my hands and it will be in control of King Amrish. I have to do something to stop him. So he thought and thought about it, and what came to his mind was Rishi Durvasa. And Durvasa Rishi is known to be a very angry Rishi. It's despite being one of the Sapta Rishis and being in Shiva's guidance and care, and with Shiva's energies, he's said to be a very angry saint. So he thought, what better than, bringing Durvasa Rishi into this. So he called Durvasa Rishi home and served him and looked after him and honored him and told him that he was amazed at Durvasa Rishi's good deeds and all the, his spiritual, sacrificial accomplishments and everything. Durvasa Rishi was taken aback because he had very rare occasions when people called him over and looked after him, because people were even scared to come around him because of his anger. So he was really happy. And then very softly, Lord Indra mentioned to him that, do you know about King Amrish, and such a huge fast he has undertaken, and it is getting completed tomorrow. and I'm very excited about it. So Durvasa Rishi said, oh, that's really wonderful. I'm also very happy to know about it. So Lord Indra said it would be amazing to witness that moment when he breaks the fast and gets all the powers and energies. At this, Durvasa Rishi also got very intrigued, and he said, actually, I think I will go and see it myself. And Lord Indra was delighted, because that's all he wanted. He wanted to send Durvasa Rishi there, knowing that some way or the other, Durvasa Rishi will lose his temper and there will be some vigna, some obstacle which will come in the fast. And that's what happened. Next day, Durvasa Rishi reached there, and King Amrish was very happy to see him and welcomed him. He was a very pious king. And Durvasa Rishi said, I want to be with you when you break your fast. So he said, there is little time left. Should we go and be present there? He said, no, I need to freshen up. I've just come from a long journey. You reach there, I'll freshen up and come. Durvasa Rishi said this to him. Now King Amrish was waiting and Durvasa Rishi was not coming. And the auspicious moment when the fast had to be broken was coming closer. All his the wise men in his court were getting hyper and saying, you have to break it on that moment, otherwise the entire 1 year of sadhana will be wasted out. So he kept saying, no, I have told Durvasa Rishi that I'll open it in his presence and only eat with him. How can I do this? So then Vashishta, Guru Vashishta, the very known Guru Vashishta, said to him that don't worry, you eat with him only. Just take a sip of water and a leaf of tulsi right now to break it, and then you look after your guest and be with him. Just take a sip of water so we don't miss the moment. The moment King Amrish took the sip of water and the leaf of tulsi, Durvasa Rishi reached there and he was furious. He said, how dare you? I'm your guest and this is disrespect for me, dishonor that you called me here and you sipped water without me being present there. I curse you. And he was very famous and known for cursing everybody. So he just pulled out a hair from his head, threw it on the ground, and out of it came a huge demon. And he said to the demon, go and kill the king right now. I have been disrespected. I cannot bear it. So the demon rose big and high and moved towards the king. The soldiers were frightened. They had never fought a demon before. So they were all standing with their bows and arrows and thinking what to do with such a huge demon, when Amrish said to them, back off, I don't want you killed. And he just sat there, closed his eyes and said, oh Krishna, whatever you choose for me, I'm happy to accept. If it is life, I'm happy. If it is death, I'll still merge in you. I'm happy. So I surrender before you. Just keep me in your feet. And he closes his eyes and says that. The moment he's still with eyes closed, he hears a sound, a whiz kind of sound, and he opens his eyes to see what's happened. He sees the Sudarshan Chakra has got activated and is moving downward towards the demon, because Vishnu had promised him that whenever he needs protection, the Sudarshan Chakra will come for him. He didn't even remember, but the Sudarshan Chakra comes and just cuts off the throat of the demon and kills the demon. And much to everybody's surprise, it turns its direction and moves towards Durvasa Rishi to kill him. Durvasa Rishi is terrified. He starts running and running and running to save himself, and the Sudarshan Chakra follows him. So Durvasa Rishi first runs to Brahmalok and goes to Brahma and says, Brahma, save me. Brahma says, Brahma is hiding a smile. He knows what's happening. He just says very softly, I don't have the power to break away Sudarshan Chakra. Please go to Shiva. So he rushes now to Shiva. He goes over the Kailash Parvat and he goes through caves and snow-covered mountains, and he's huffing and panting, running with the Sudarshan Chakra right behind him. Sometimes he hides underwater and then he sees, oh, Sudarshan Chakra has come underwater also. With all of that, he finally reaches Kailasha and tells Shiva, Shiva, save me. And Shiva says, you just wasted your time. Nobody can revoke the Sudarshan Chakra but for Vishnu himself. You should have just gone to Vishnu. So he runs to Vishnu, and then again there is a long travel and he's fatigued, he's tired, he's terrified of the death which is following him non-stop. And he goes to Vishnu and says, Vishnu, please take this Sudarshan Chakra back. I'm sorry for what happened. And Vishnu says, it is not in my powers. All the powers of this Sudarshan Chakra lie with King Amrish. It was blessed and given to him, So you have to ask him forgiveness if you want this to stop. If he agrees, he can only save you. So after all that running across the world, he runs back to King Amrish's palace, and goes and says, "I've made a big mistake, save me. Um, Please, I don't want to die." So at which Amrish is surprised. He says, "Oh, I didn't know I could save you, Durvasa Rishi. I had no idea." He just closes his eyes and says, "Oh Krishna, if this is your will, let him be saved. He's a Rishi. I don't want any pure soul harmed in my palace. So what if he did me wrong? I still respect him. Please save him. Please don't let him be killed." The moment he says these words in prayer, that sound disappears and the Sudarshan Chakra is withdrawn by Vishnu, and Durvasa Rishi gets saved. He goes to the king and thanks him and says that you are indeed the best man existing on earth today. They're right when they say that there's nobody like you, because to forgive me after what I did, it takes courage. And he thanks him and goes away from there, blesses him and goes away. So today I remembered that when I had shared this story years ago in that training program that I was talking about, I had a leadership team, one intelligent than the other, and I asked him, "What do you learn from the story?" And I very clearly remember almost everybody tried giving me an answer, but the answer was all centered around Durvasa Rishi's anger. Everybody said to me, anger is bad. It kills you finally. It follows you everywhere. It blinds you. It makes you do things you shouldn't do. So it was all about the anger. And when they had all finished, I actually told them what was the actual lesson learned from here. And let me share that with you too, unless you've understood already. The lesson here is, what is the difference between Durvasa Rishi, the sage, the accomplished one, the noble one who has achieved so much? He's a sage, he's a sadhu, and a king who's a normal man. What is the difference? Supposedly, the sadhu, the saint, is supposed to be the one who has evolved, whose soul has evolved, who is very spiritual. And the king is supposed to be living in the material world. But what happens here is, the difference is in that word that I started the message with: attachment and detachment. The sage who's supposed to be detached is attached to his life. He's running and huffing and puffing, Durvasa Rishi, across the globe to save that life, that, oh, this is precious. He's attached to that life that he's living. On the contrary, King Amrish is totally detached. He's not bothered whether he's dead or he lives. He just closes his eyes and says to Krishna, "I surrender before you, my Krishna. If I'm in your care, nothing bad can happen. Whatever you give unto me, I accept with a smile and with grace. Be it life, be it death, I am in your feet." This is the highest form of detachment from one's own life, even when you're not bothered whether you live or die, but you surrender to your God. This is what we also call complete surrender when we talk about Baba all the time. Trusting in your Lord God so much that whether good comes, whether bad comes, whether sunshine comes, whether clouds come, whether it is difficult to even breathe on certain days and you think you will collapse and die because of the pressures and the pains and the traumas, or there is just happiness around. Whatever your life situation, you believe that my Lord God, if you are with me, my Baba, if you are my protecting force, you are holding me, whatever comes will be good only. Even what looks bad and terrible to me today is going to be good. And when we reach this stage of surrender, this is complete. It automatically leads to detachment with life and the things surrounding it. I love you, and I will forever, forever love you and hold you, come what may. Ya Sai and Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sa